There was such a play back then. Invested more than 300 million. The cast is even more luxurious, starring Jet Li and other superstars. Please come to Jet Li. The producers gave 100 million pay. Directly occupy 1/3 of the production cost. This is also an added bonus for now. However, the film was cut 16 minutes after its release, resulting in very poor reputation, called a bad movie. After the later cut plot is exposed, everyone just realized that this is a masterpiece. Before the movie starts, let's understand the background of the story. The movie takes place in the late Qing dynasty. Dragonflies are corrupt and the people are not living well. The Taiping Uprising is called the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom Movement. This is absolutely the first time in human history. The worst war ever. A total of 70 million people were lost. This is just the statistics of major battlefields such as Jiangsu and Zhejiang, if you include the national loss of more than 100 million people. What is this concept? 65 million people fought in World War I. More than 10 million people lost their lives. 20 million people were injured. World War II. About 70 million people died worldwide. The Taiping Heavenly Kingdom War was more than the sum of the two. And more. Beginning of the movie. It was a brutal battle between the Qing army and the Taiping army. There was a general named Peng Qingyun. Hide in a pile of dead people and play dead to survive. Then I remembered Takeshi Kaneshiro, the voice of Zhang Weiyang. Call me, return the leader. Oh Yangyi, another funeral song. Finished by pruning snippets. We know that movies are retellings. The story of the movie may be based on the river. From the perspective of Weiyang. Shunqi narrative. That's why the movie appears many times. Narration of Weiyang. Let's go back to the movie. Peng Qingyun became a deserter because of himself. Guilt for not following in the footsteps of the public. Chose a reverse direction. There is a woman in front of him. Look carefully at the 4 words on his archway. Qianchun Liufeng. In the back lens, there are also 4 words, cut off sky bag. At this time, it is located in Ansheng village, southwest of Ensu city, Shandong province, built in the 9th year of Qing Daoguang. There is a story behind these 8 words. It is said that there is a local woman Wang Shai. After marriage, he was unable to be with her due to male reasons. After the man passed away, Wang insists on worshipping her parents, and guarded the robbery for the king for 11 years. Finally died. Therefore, the chastity archway funded by the southern family. Later we know that Lin, played by Su Jingli, the birth identity is a Yangzhou skinny horse. So-called Yangzhou skinny horse. It's a dung women, sale and slavery. Both lie in the south of the Qing dynasty. The core area of delayed Kaiyun in ancient Yangzhou. Gongguan officials took concubines, traffickers who spot business opportunities, girls from poor families, concentrate, close training, at the same time teach some artistic skills such as piano, chess, song and dance, in order to please people. This type of human trafficking it has even formed a mature industrial chain. Girls who have lost their freedom, being bought, sold and toyed with at will. This is important for women's dignity. No doubt a huge trample and shame. Yangzhou Digital Real Street Archway. These two seemingly polar opposites, but it hints at the status of the woman involved. This is a good movie. Show in one shot. Realize the meaning the director wants to express. Peng Qingyun was exhausted and fell to the ground. Rescued him in a row and took him to a dilapidated house. Peng Qingyun is like crying. More than 1,000 of his brothers are gone. He was betrayed by Kui's own copper staff. None of the troops survived. Play dead to escape. Jet Li's acting here is really good. Lin Sheng looked at him pitifully. Hugged him. It's too cold at night to hold a piece of warmth. Only then did Peng Qingyun feel that he was still alive. He also fell in love with this woman. After waking up, the woman left without saying goodbye. Peng Qingyun pawns the weapon, for some silver. He asked the boss where he could eat. Boss asked him to squat in front of the broken house on the street. Then came a group of bandits. The leader threw Weiyang some steamed buns to him. Well, Weiyang found Peng Qingyun in the crowd. This is the cruelty of society at that time. If you like other people's things, you can directly kill and steal the trouble. No guilt. It really was an era of cannibalism. As a general, Peng Qingyun is highly powerful in martial arts. Zhang Weiyang is naturally not his opponent. Zhang Weiyang also saw that the other party was a talent. Let him go with him to see Big Brother. Big Brother is Zhao, who played by Andy Lau. He is now robbing the Taiping army of food. You can see the boldness and desperation of these bandits. Exactly. Peng Qingyun will only include them later. Zhao, who is not a reckless bandit leader. He is brave and resourceful. Specially hung in the low hunting valley to do it. It's still covered in grass. Convenient ambush. There are also pre-arranged traps below. After the other party is tricked, fall the 5 sheep from the sky. Kill each other by surprise. The bandits' momentum rose sharply. Officers and soldiers are timid in the face of enemies full of mountains. Just want to rush out. The bandits left King Zhao behind. Lead your men out from one side. This is no ordinary bandit. Just a pair of well-trained warriors. Peng Qingyun did not make a move. They're watching from up high. He was not familiar with Zhao Erhu's strength either. For someone who narrowly escaped death, it is very precious. If these two tigers are a mob, he leaves. I won't sacrifice myself for this group of people. After trapping the 5 sheep, Peng Qingyun just took action. He flies down. The blade of the helpless enemy will save Wu Yang. Peng Junyun's knife speed is extremely fast. He killed all the way to the leader of the Taiping army. Stabbed him to death with 1 shot. Taiping army can only surrender. The tentacle timing of the golden cloud here. It means that this person is very scheming. Peng Qingyun as a general. Very good at making meritorious deeds and buying people's hearts. As a newcomer, if he rushed over at the beginning, even if you kill a lot of people, Brother Zhao Erhu just gave him a few glances, and now he does. One is in times of crisis, save Zhang Guiyang by holding a knife. This will move Zhang Guiyang very much. It is also for this reason he didn't follow Zhao Erhu's mutiny later. Second is to take advantage of the delay in other troops. He can catch the thief before the king. This is what happens. Bandits admire him. Boss has a heavy responsibility for him, in order to continue to buy people's hearts. Huang Qingyun also specially put his military boots. I gave it to Zhang Guiyang. They returned to the village. Distributed the stolen food to his family. You can see it from here. Zhao Erhu and the others became bandits. It is also forced by the times. Peng Qingyun met Liang Qing again here, but I learned that he was Zhao Erhu's daughter-in-law. Mood is very complicated. In the evening, Zhao Erhu led his men to drink. Brothers who died together. You can see from here. Zhao Erhu is really serious about love and righteousness. Later together, in the evening, Peng Qingyun found the young man. Peng Qingyun asked the young man why he came back. Make your own destiny. When the two want to continue their relationship. There was a burst of gunfire outside. Kuizi camp of the Qing army was killed in the village. To grab food. They all had guns in their hands. Zhao Erhu was powerless to resist. The leader who took the lead whipped Zhao Erhu twice. He told Zhao Erhu, "Do you think that if you rob the grain truck, the food will belong to you? Now I will give you a chance to serve the court." Zhao Erhu can only see and watch them take it away. A bandit is a dog's life, forever being chased. Peng Qingyun proposed that they join the army. If you join the army, you will have warrior. With the military, you can buy food. If you join the army, you will have guns. With guns, no one bullies. This village is truly peaceful. Greed. But my men don't believe it. Peng Qingyun and the 3 of them want to accept the same name. The ancient form of nomination is a kind of contractual spirit. It's like selling yourself to an organization. Sign and perform the contract. No way out. I can only die for the organization. One of the 4 famous works, Water Margin, has a head name. Be said the 11th time of the Water Margin. Zhugui shooting poems Jilin Chang on Liangchen on a snowy night. And Wanglan Astalin. Take a head as a greeting gift. The way to vote here is brotherhood. Kill an outsider each. Cut off the back road. To show loyalty, Zhao Erhu and Zhang Wuliang, to bandits, without hesitation. These 3 people are not bad people. They were arrested when they passed by their village. Peng Qingyun hesitated for a while, but still chose to do it. He said to the man, "Remember my face. Take revenge on me next time you reincarnate." The 3 are officially brothers. Momentum, brother of fame. That's my brother. If you are famous, you will kill you. Tang Qingyun is the oldest brother. Zhao Erhu took Wu Yang for his second brother. The youngest is the 3rd brother. Zhao Erhu led 800 people in the village to save lives. To steal the Qing soldiers. Golden Cloud took the 2 to meet the 3 ministers. These 3 ministers are the heart of the film. Understand the 3 ministers. I really understand this movie. Some people say that the historical prototype of these 3 ministers. Lord Di is Zheng Gofan. Lord Zhang is Li Hongjing. Mr. Chen is Hu Linyi. However, in the course of history, not too far back, the director said, these 3 people paid tribute to the early director Zhang Xieqi. Same as actor, Lin Chen Guantai. David Zhang. These 3 people actually represent the Qing dynasty. The 3 major forces of the DPRK. These 3 ministers appear every time. Lord Di is a resident. Simple as a relationship in, but it contains the university knowledge of Chinese political culture. Center is respected. To left and 3 right. It can be seen that he has the highest official position, but look carefully. I found that every time Lord D pronounced it, it depends on Mr. Jiang's face. He is in a high position but has no teacher rights. Therefore, Lord D should represent. Manchu 8 banners in the imperial court. Then came Mr. Chen. His men were green soldiers. The Qing dynasty was in the process of unifying the country. Militia and other Han soldiers who will receive troops. Refer to the old system of the Ming army, set up with the camp as the basic unit, marked by the green flag. It's called the Green Camp, also known as Green Army. It can be seen that Lord Chen represents Li Hongchen. Lord Zhang has the lowest status but the most arrogant. He owns the Kui battalion of Hekui as a direct unit. Similar to Zhang Gofen's Hunan army, Zhang Gofen in his hometown of Hunan rely on mentors and apprentices, relatives, friends, and other complex interpersonal relationships. Established a local regiment. It is called the Hunan Army. All battalions obey only Zhang Gofen, thus forming a ginseng, private army with clothes as a bond. So Mr. Zhang represents the warlord force. Low rank but heavy army. So, Lord D, who has the highest official position, also has to look at his face. On the surface, the form is that Lord D is greater than Lord Chen, greater than Zhang. However, according to strength, it is Lord Zhang who is greater than Lord D and greater than Lord Chen. The film is ostensibly brothers. In fact, it is secretly a Game of Thrones of the Big Three. Lord Chen and Lord D join forces to fight against Lord Zhang. Let's go back to the movie. Mr. Chen asked Peng Qingyun, "You lead a battalion to ambush the Taiping army." The whole army was wiped out. Peng Qingyun explained, "Lord Zhang's Kui self-management and temporary government have not arrived. Retreat 30 miles. That led to the death of all his brothers." Mr. Chen asked this sentence. In fact, it is not to blame Peng Qingyun. As the head of the military, and he not know the reason. Look carefully. When he said this, he was looking at Lord D. He just wanted to borrow Peng Qingyun's mouth. Complained to Lord D. Lord D didn't say anything. Divert the subject and ask a few of them. 800 The three adults all laughed after hearing it. And they're laughing at different things. Lord Zhang laughs first. He is an intimate laugh. 800 soldiers pose no threat to themselves. Lord D looked at Lord Zhang and smiled before he smiled. It's the kind of smile that flatters the leader. Mr. Chen is the last little one. He smiles bitterly. Peng Qingyun is here to take refuge in him. 800 people. In order to make the three adults think highly of themselves, Peng Qingyun began to amplify the leader's words. Give me another 800. I will capture the bookstore within 15 days. No joke in the army. Peng Qingyun continues to increase China and Malaysia. 10 days and 10 days under Shekang. Both brothers were stunned. Big brother blew it over the head. Lord Chen's green character camp. Often targeted by Lord Zhang's Kuizi camp. He didn't want to see Kuizing step on it with one hand. Willing to help Peng Qingyun, Lord Chen took out his family's wealth. 1,500 elite soldiers to fight. But no army wants to. Peng Qingyun agreed. Yes, don't think about it. But capture the city. Half of the stuff belongs to them. Lord D said that Peng Qingyun came from Mount Lu. They call it Mountain Self Camp. This mountain is very interesting. If you analyze in depth, Tuming Zhuangli, fundamental rights framework, we can see that it is a cunning harpoon shape. First minister formed the tip of the harpoon. Manchu dignitaries representing the Qing dynasty. On civil servants and local warlords. Like a mountain, handle part represents royal power, owned by the Queen Mother. It is the power to suppress the mountain. At the same time, one mountain cannot tolerate two tigers. This mountain character Ying has also been predicted long ago. Shows the ending of Peng Qingyun and Zhao Ru. We continue to answer the movie. Generals of the Green Battalion saw that Peng Qingyun was in, betting 800 lives. Generals don't want to gamble. These 1,500 soldiers are successful and unlucky. If you succeed in speaking in the imperial court, you will have no confidence. If his soldiers do not participate in the war, they can only make trouble with Peng Qingyun. The guns given by Lord Zhang are also broken, and there are 200 guns opposite. Capturing the book city in 10 days is simply as difficult as reaching the sky. There's only one way to win. That's breaking their gun formation. Kick it over and fight them hard. The two armies are 300 paces apart. The range of the musket is 200 paces, and the bow and arrow only take 100 steps. That is to say, 200 people are required to form a shield, over a distance of 100 steps. When these 100 steps for the archers, this is total suicide. After Peng Qingyun finished speaking, he was silent. Zhao Ru told everyone, those who are willing to go have settlement fees. 2 died and 3 survived. Zhao Ru said this. Everyone gave up. The Taiping army saw that they were outnumbered and disparate. Send someone to make them surrender. Zhao Ru slashed him to death. Eventually morale will be high. Shouting to kill the general, Wu Yang rushed up with the 200 people. Reached the firing range of the musket. The Taiping army fired. Several people fell in an instant. While they reload, Gan Ziying rushed forward with all his strength. Musketeers in the second and third rows fired quickly. Gan Ziying fell again. Zhao Ru can't watch it anymore. Let Peng Qingyun withdraw the troops. The last 100 steps, Shanzi strikes back again. 1,000 arrows are fired. A dense sword rain began. The Taiping army couldn't resist at all. Killed losing ground. Mountain self-management takes advantage of victory and 200 more knives to fight it hand to hand. Battlefield is so cruel. As long as there is a trace of negligence, just die. Taiping cavalry attack. Peng Qingyun holds a big knife. Rushed up with everyone. Win or lose here. In order not to scare the horses, Peng Qingyun made everyone blindfold. Cavalry warfare is intense. 2 horses collide and 1 dies. Sword delivery. Screams. Sound of fighting and the reputation of Jinji's friendship resounded throughout the world. Shishin blood everywhere. It's creepy. The leader saw that the Taiping army was in a weak wind. Artillery ignited. This is a deadly blow. Peng Qingyun is not afraid. Riding a war horse, rushing forward desperately. In front of the artillery, 3 down 5 divided by 2 to solve the front row. Then charge into the enemy line. Peng Qingyun is like a god of war. 1 against 100. Carry out lawn-mowing slaughter. He saw the cannon being lit. Immediately turn around and destroy a row of artillery shocks. When Peng Qingyun was about to be blown up, a soldier blocks the muzzle with his body. This saved Peng Qingyun's life. The leader of the Taiping army can't sit still now. Rushed up with everyone. Peng Qingyun went completely crazy. There's only one movement in his head. Swinging knives keep swinging knives. Unhit kill. Simple and sharp. But no matter how brave he is, outnumbered, the third brother brought Wei Yang to the rescue. The Taiping army rushed up again. There are not many mountains left. Surrounded by. The projection of green self-operated is stupid. Damascene is a lunatic. 800 people messed up 5,000 people. He saw this as an opportunity. The army with the wordly rushed up. Peng Qingyun smiled when he saw this scene. The Taiping army general prepared to cut off Wei Yang's head. Shanxiang won a big victory. Catch the thief before the king. The third brother has learned it. The big three make their second appearance. Mr. Chen was overjoyed. He's got it right. I am also very proud to show off to Lord D. Lord D also took the opportunity to win over the other party. One want to give Peng Qingyun 5 more battalions of cases. Everyone, take a closer look at Lord Chen's expression. Old D didn't rob people in person, did he? The acting of these 3 giants is really good. Every time I see it, I have a new experience. Mr. Chen can only increase the stakes. Call Lu Dashan over. After the ceremony, the Green Shadow soldiers were dispatched to Peng Qingyun. Mr. John definitely doesn't want to see Mr. Chen grow up, threatening one's position. So Kui joined forces with Kui and Peng Qingyun. You succeeded his neighbor. Dude, I work, you take credit. Mr. Chen, do I want some? 2 adults dare not have any opinion. Go to Suzhou first. Call Nanjing again. Big 3 laughed again. The smile here also means different things. Lord D smiled first. He laughed that Zhao Hu was a bandit. I don't understand politics. Nanjing is the heart of the enemy. Want to break Nanjing? Go to Suzhou first. The war is over. What do they transfer? War for those above. It's a chance to get rich. Let's give an example and you'll understand. During the Nyan Tongyao Northwest military use of the Yongjing dynasty, it costs more than 200,000 taels of silver every day. In a month, it is more than 6 million taels. In 1 year, it is more than 70 million taels. Nyan Gongyao is the commander of the first army. Even from this huge army, 1 percentage point of the cost. That's nearly 1 million taels. Rebuking Lord Zhuqiang's smile is a sneer. He has the smallest official position, the most powerful. Just because it's at war now, Empress Dowager Cixi reuses him. The account is over. His soldiers owe their debt to the court. What rights does he have then? How can we compete with Lord Chen and Lord D? He won't let Peng Qingming win, and Zhao Kui is self-employed to spy on them. Lord Chen smiled bitterly. He was the one who wanted to end the war the most. Well, he can't. From here we could also understand. I did Lord John arrange to meet Ku King Peng at the beginning. Qingyun Peng Qingyun is Lord Chen's soldier. First, he didn't want to make Lord Chen grow stronger. The second is that they don't want the war to end. How many people will accompany the good show of the big 3? Who had to take the brothers back first? They brought a lot of gold and silver treasures. But many people never came back. Who and the others only stayed 1 night. The project will start early tomorrow morning. After Tong Qingyun attacked the city with his life, Kui Xing entered the city for a visit. Tong Qingyun heard a woman's cry for help. It seems that Shan Xing's brother is bullying women. Peng Qingyun caught them to rectify the fall on the spot. Who thinks it's the rule to go into the city and grab 3 days. Peng Qingyun told him that from today onwards, this can't happen in our military. Formerly a bandit, soldier now, gangster will not change. Can't do anything. Who didn't understand why Peng Qingyun did this. Who else will work for him after that? Wang Qingming spoke seriously to the Erhu. When I was an official, I fell light on the street. Catch a poor man. It when you see it. He was bruised and covered in blood. No reason. It is because he is poor. And the poor man has no complaints. As if everything was just and right. From that day on, I swore. This must never happen again. Peng Qingyun's words look very upright. However, he is fighting for power. This is what they say when they are desperate. If you don't want them to do it, why didn't you say it sooner? Do it now. And you know that. The initial formation of this mountain character Yang. It is a local gangster den that recruits 2 tigers. These people don't care about military rules. They can only have Zhao Hu as the boss. As the battles are won more and more, people are getting bigger. All new recruits will be influenced by these bandits. Who is the boss between Tiger and Peng Qingyun on Tuesday? Who should we listen to? This poses a threat to Pan Qingyun. These two people. But they are all people from Zhao Erhu's village. Look carefully. When Pan Qingyun was on patrol, how many people died in the street? Why didn't he stop it sooner? Just wait until the soldiers who caught Zhao Erhu are in Li Wei. Let's see who the real boss is. There's something moving again. By people's hearts. However, you cannot say that he is a bad person. If he is a bad person, after the victory, I will not ask Sixi for exemption. 3-year relaxation in Liangjiang jurisdiction. Pan Qingyun is such a person. To achieve the final goal, he can use everything and sacrifice everything. In order to prevent the brothers from continuing to quarrel, beheaded two brothers from the same hometown. Pan Qingyun told Erhu, he will end this war as soon as possible. On Suzhou in 3 months, Lord John won't let him do this. The third appearance of the big three, Lord Chen and Lord John play go. We should win for thousands of years. Lord D's words. It was Pan Qingyun who disobeyed the order of the three. Attack Suzhou without authorization. He became an orphan like this chess piece. Lord John also mocked that thousands of people want to fight Suzhou. Overreach, broken roots and no food. This is the situation that Pan Qingyun is currently facing. It's obvious what he means. Let Lord Chen and Lord D give up Pan Qingming, this wife. Otherwise, his own bottom line will also lose cool. Didn't I say earlier? Lord Chen and Lord D tried to pull our Pan Qingyun offered his men. Lord Chen is a lawyer. Lord D is 5 battalions. Lord Chen doesn't think they will lose yet. He believes that husbands are often in a state of rapid change. What if you don't fall? I kiss you. The imperial court ascended to the sky. Connect. He only sent troops and food to support Pan Qingyun. Help him attack Suzhou. What does this mean? On the surface, he said he could help Pan Qingyun. In fact, it is secretly threatening Lord John. After Jinming captured Suzhou, you can enter the inner court. The local warlord who ruled Lord Yoko, Lord Chen and Lord D want to be with Lord John. Talk about some chips. They were ostensibly playing chess. The back is talking. The advantage of this is not to say it on the surface. Who won't tear your face? This is the horror of the superior. Lord John also heard one of the threats. Will I let Pan Qingyun go back? The meaning is simple. I will not let him enter the court. Your threats are completely empty talk. Minister is afraid of people and smiles. The other side doesn't answer at all. Lord John here says that wives are good for everyone. If the threat from Lord Chen just now was Tan Choma, then the threat of Lord John here just ripped my face. If Lord Chen and Lord D really support Pan Qingyun, then Lord John will use means. Side with them. Holding heavy troops. It's me again. I can take advantage of Pan Qingyun to attack Suzhou. Do something behind the scenes. It's not like he hasn't done it before. Although some benefits will be lost. But for Lord Chen and Lord D, they're going to lose even more. Mr. Chen's acting here is so good. I want to kill each other, but still have to laugh. Pan Qingyun has been attacking Suzhou for a year and has not yet captured the city. Mountains are littered with corpses. The mountains self-supporting grain and grass are broken, wailing sounds everywhere. As a confidant of Lord Chen, Lu Dashan also brought the attitude of Lord Chen. Suzhou has become a dead end. You have to die. Kui Ziying is waiting outside the city. Lord Chen still doesn't want to tear his face with Lord John. Dare not support food, but he was also unwilling to give up on Pan Qingyun. Tell him to withdraw. However, Pan Qingyun is idealistic. Goal he wants to achieve will not be easily given up. Put the U in the table and kill the city lord. Pan Qingyun disagrees. No one who went came back. He is going to find Lord D for food and cannons. Lord D didn't dare to tear his face with Lord John. No trampling. Even if Pan Qingyun kneels down, Di Gong still didn't agree. This is also the cruelty of the superior. When you have value, you try your best to please. When you threaten yourself first, well, kick him away. Pan Qingyun can only beg Kuizi to win or who now. I don't want to see someone sacrifice. He has to go in. 9 deaths. I came here all my life to see your who. Pan Qingyun wants to compare himself with Ikui. As long as he measures half of Nanjing per person, I am willing to let the 3 old men step on it. Pan Qingyun's move is really wonderful. Since I and Hikui, they're all pawns on your big 3 chessboard. Then we'll join forces to lift the table. Pan Qianyan saw that Hikui was an ambitious person. The biggest beneficiary is Lord John, and Hikui can only be a general. If Hikui captured Nanjing, completely different. It's a big deal for the court. As mentioned earlier, Lord Jiang's warlord forces, corresponding to the battalions of the Hunan army, all refer to obeying Zhang Gofan alone. This is a huge threat to the court. Ixi also didn't want to let Mr. Zhang grow. Hikui attacked Nanjing. He also has a reason to let Hikui replace Zhang. Adult seat. Pan Qianyan also understands this form. Will say, you are willing to be trampled by those 3 old men for the rest of your life. Underfoot, there is now a chance to overturn them. Who needs you to bring Kui Ziying? Act in the back. Hikui will definitely agree. However, this is Pan Qingyun's plan. If the credit is really given to Hekui, how did he achieve his ideals, his true purpose? After getting the food from the river anemone, it will take 2 days to take Suzhou. Take Nanjing in 8 days. Only in this way can the court know that Nanjing has nothing to do with Hekui. Pang Jingyan is really brave and resourceful, and that brought the game to life. However, the game on the chessboard is ever-changing. It's not that you can get off however you want. After Pang Qingyun comes back, who also entered the city. He works overtime to deliver opium to the city lord. City lord decided to surrender for the people of Suzhou. He told Erhu to send the soldiers home to farm. Do not humiliate the people of the city. Pang Qingyun still doesn't know what's going on in the city. Organize Shanzi camp preparation project. City gates open. The people came out of the city. Seeing this scene really makes people cry. In the end, these people will suffer in the war. Everyone shouted the name of Erhu. Pang Qingyun's mood is more complicated. I smiled and my face was unpredictable. He was happy that Suzhou city was finally breached. The difficulty is to see his power lightly. Now everyone thinks that the two tigers took the city. Heart of the army has come to Erhu again. The Taiping army does not agree to close the whip. And we need food. The grain in Shanzi camp is only 10 days old and they have to attack Nanjing. Can't give them. Erhu doesn't care. He promised the city master to give them a way to live. Erhu sent steamed buns to the Taiping army on his own initiative. Just one meal to feed them. Zhang Weiyang asked the brothers to bring down Erhu. Chained up. Take the archers in position. Kill all these Taiping soldiers. This is also a true event in history. The prototype of the Suzhou city lord is the Taiping army. Outstanding General Tan Xiaoguang. Tan Xiaoguang is a subordinate of King Li Xucheng. He is as brave and good at fighting as Li Xucheng, but calmer than Li Xucheng. And Tan Xiaoguang has no selfish thoughts. He was one of the outstanding generals in the late period of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. At that time, Tan Xiaoguang stood by Suzhou city. Going through Hongjing and Gordon is very troublesome. They are right. Suzhou city launched for crazy attacks, but he was defeated by Tan Xiaoguang every time. At this time, Li Hongjing remembered Zhang Guoqun, seen during the capture of Anqing. At that time, Anqing did not last for a long time. Zhang Guoqun sent someone to bribe him with a lot of money. General In, how attack Suzhou city? Can this approach be taken? The interior of the Taiping army is indeed not monolithic. Lust for profit is everywhere. Li Hongjing has long heard people talk about it. The king told Yang Quan Wang Anjin and others are dissatisfied with Han Shuquan. So he quickly bought off the king. 8 generals led by King Quankong and Wang Anjin, at their military conference, killed Coach Mu Wang Tan Xiaoguang. Then its head, as the namesake, Kesong took off and landed on Li Hongjing. However, Li Hongjing broke his promise to advance, beheaded 8 of them 3 days later. Taiping army who surrendered by shooting and killing more than 1,000 people. There are many events in the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. Deng shaved his head and was a major contributor to the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. After the capture of Nanjing, almost 400,000 to 500,000. Learn about historical events. It's easier for us to understand movies. Okay, let's go back to the story. After that day, Erhu never spoke to the Jinryu again. Mountain self-operated. The bodies were buried in a large pit. Erhu doesn't want to fight anymore. He's taking his brother back. Erhu is still in the way of bandits. Think about the problem. He thought it was a brother who broke up and went home. However, this was a mutiny for Pang Qingyun. According to the rules of the army, the head is to be killed. Pang Qingyun quickly stopped the other party. I feel that Pang Jingyan really wants to kill Erhu here. As mentioned earlier, Pang Jingyan is only loyal to his ideals and ambitions, and sacrifice everything for it. He thinks he is careless. As long as you finally get that position yourself, it can bring benefits to the world and the people. No matter what the sacrifice is, it will be worth it. That includes brotherhood, but what he didn't expect was General Weiyang, who has always obeyed him, standing in his own team. How could I be scrapped? If Pang Qingyun is idealistic, Zhao Erhu is heroism, then Zhang Weiyang is incredible. Only for the 3 brothers, only serve the vows they took when they were sworn. He usually listens to Pang Qingyun. No matter the people in the Sand Village, will block Zhao Erhu in front. He thinks Pang Qingyun is right. However, when the lives of their brothers are threatened, he will stand by Zhao Erhu's side. Look carefully. Pang Qingyun lowered his head and thought about countermeasures. Should we kill together or what should we do? In the end, he chose to compromise with the other party. He led everyone to kneel before Erhu. I promise you, after playing Nanjing, I will put down the knife. In the future you will know that I made the right decision today. Erhu Wei's brothers also compromised. If you love it, turn it over quickly. If you are wrong, I will kill you. The attack on Nanjing was fast, and there is also opera arranged by 3 people in the middle. It seems that the court behind only knows these 3 people. I don't know Hikui. The first thing to do after matching Nanjing is to shave your head. Erhu defied the military order and gave Shanziying for shots. He also made him unable to step down in the name of Pang Qingyun. Pan Qingyun promised River Kwai to enter the city, one by one. Now Erhu has privately distributed half of the military heroes. He Kui is no longer a beggar. He Lu became angry and wanted to kill Pan Qingyun. Lord Zhang, tell him you don't have this chance. Empress Dowager makes Pan Qingyun the governor of Liangjiang. Governor of Liangjiang was the most powerful wind in the Qing dynasty. One of the ministers Zhang. General manager in Jiangning Jiangsu. Military and civil government affairs in Anhui and Jiangxi provinces. The official book or inspector of the Ministry of Military Affairs. Governor again. Sage from one rank. Representative figures in history include Zhang Gofan, General Cao Zhang Guoquan. Yu Qianlong and Pan Qingyun have really reached the sky in one step. He Lu wants to pull the Erhu back. In this way, Pan Qingyun's governor of Liangjiang will not last long. Erhu watched the play on the stage with tears streaming down his face. The brothers who used to be are now like this. At this time, He Kui came to divide the two tigers. The two joined forces to fight against Pan Qingming. Erhu saw Zhang, the general who had beaten him with the whip, call him over and return it. He Kui also has to say that he played well. On the surface, Erhu didn't call He Kui, and punch one of his men in the face. However, we look back. Negotiations are usually private places, but He Kui is in the theater. There are so many people here. His ultimate goal is not to make Erhu promise himself. Instead, let Pan Qingyun produce ethylene. Erhu's beating action. It is easier for Pang. The matter of Qingyun and Lianqing was discovered by Zhang Weiyang. Jet Li's eyes here are so scary. Just starting to panic. Danger follows. Lord Chen took Pang Jianyan to the Forbidden City. Go see Sixi. Mr. Chen said, are you thinking? How long does it take to walk here from the palace gate? I also thought about it when I was young. It really came to this. My temples are gray. It took 30 years. Too bad I can't walk. The subtext here. He wants Pan Qingyun to be his successor. Pan Qingyun didn't speak. Sixi saw Pan Qingyun and said you were still young. Monarchs and ministers will be with each other for a long time. This is also where Ram Pan Qingyun is his own. However, Pan Qingming will not forget his ideals. Make a condition. That is to exempt the Queen Mother. 3 years of flooding in Liangjiang area. The ministers in the store are not calm. This guy is so fierce. Dare to mention this condition. This sentence directly poisoned Pan Qingyun's political career. Sixi named him to presidents. It's all about getting him to work for himself. Wang Qingming made conditions with Sixi in the court. 2 years tax exemption. Sixi does not agree. People will blame Sixi. Sixi promised that the treasury was in deficit. People love. Pan Qingyun is tax-free. The understanding of Pan Qingyun may be recuperate and mean kindness, but from the perspective of the court, that's an open tax. Private food. You, a warlord, have 3 years of tax rights. How much of a threat are you to the court? Golden expression on Pan Qingyun's face shows that he understands the truth, but he is for his ideals. Want to gamble? He gambled from start to finish. You win every bet. My life is as thin as your eyes. If you say so, I will go to the outside world. Lord Chen warned Pan Qingyun. You do not belong to any faction of the court. To get the favor of the Empress Dowager. It's pretty obvious what that means. It's hard for you to handle other filming at the court alone. Uncle Tong, Lord Di and Lord Chen both want to pull Pan Qingyun. Pan Qingyun didn't want to join forces with them. Lord Chen told Pan Qingyun that you became the governor of Jiangsu, but with heavy troops. The Queen Mother is worried. Pan Qingyun decided that Shanxing would take the lead and move out the two tigers. In Nanjing, the court army rang to evidence of guilt. Are you understanding anxiety? Li Jian, who was photographed earlier, added this sentence, completely aroused Pan Qingyun's heart to kill Erhu. However, this is also Pan Qingming's biggest mistake, resulting in the destruction of his own life. He Xiao said, as long as you win over Zhao Erhu, this governor of Liangjiang was not long ago. It can be said that he wants to kill Pan Qingyun. We must get rid of Zhao Erhu first. It's a pity that Pan Qingyun still can't beat the big three. Zhao Erhu definitely can't use the original bandits. He had to find someone he could trust. This person is Lu Dashan. He does not belong to the people in Erhu village. I have no feelings for Erhu. The following scene. It can be said that Pan Qingyun's temptation to Lu Dashan. If you say so, I will go to the other side. Are you flawed? He asked Lu Dashan to report the news to Erhu. Kui Xing is going back. He Kui wants to kill Pan Kunyan. After Erhu heard it, he immediately rushed to Qingsheng with a whip. Chen Weiyang found that there were many more Imperial Mausoleum troops in the mansion. Something feels wrong. He found Pan Qingyun in the house in the backyard. Talking about Weiyang is too simple. I thought Pan Qingyun was trying to get the second sister-in-law to kill Erhu. He found his second sister-in-law and stabbed him to death. Erhu was also shot by archers on the way. Erhu shouted big brother before he died. He could never have imagined that it was the eldest brother who wanted to kill him. It happened to rain heavily on the day Pan Qingyun took office. Pan Qingyun looked at the people on both sides. I just realized that I was tricked. Not a single word for Mountain beat him. Has Mr. Zhang not been out for a long time? Lord Di said before. but the bigger eye needs to leak the south wind beside the nest. However, when Pan Qingyun was killed, Lord Zhang appeared calmly. The 6 south is fake. The layout is real. Erhu is dead. He asked Ikui to start strangling the Shanzi camp. He was moved by Pan Qingyun only after the Shanzi camp was destroyed. Just as Pan Qingming walked to work, poke the appearance of the 5 sheep at Pan Qingming. I feel that this place should be arranged by Lord Zhang. Otherwise, he can simply appear with heavy troops. Pan Qingyun didn't want to be with Zhang Guiyang. He told the guard next to him not to come, cut off one of his legs. But at this time, someone behind Pan Qingyun fired a cold gun. The big 3 appear for the 6th time. 3 public drinking tea together to discuss. Pan Qingyun is a talent. Unfortunately, I don't understand the way of onlookers. Mr. Chen is a pity for Pan Qingyun. It's also a pity for myself. He wanted to welcome Pan Qingming's mountain, Lord Zhangjiang's warlord power. But in the end, it was in vain. Lord Di is also very afraid. Look at Mr. Zhang. Nanjing revived. The Queen Mother wants to settle the world. How can you rely on an outsider? This sentence means, as Lord Di said, Lord Di is 6th among the 8 knights. If he Pan Qingyun is an outsider, isn't he an outsider? He describes himself as one of his own. I just want to show my loyalty to the Queen Mother. You see, I have both strength and filial piety. You want to settle the world. You can only rely on me. The samurai has reached the assassin on the roof and fired. Pan Qingyun didn't want to die at the hands of others. He fulfilled his oath of nomination. So Pan Qingyun asked Zhang Guiyang to kill himself. Starting street, farther away from Xi'an. The movie cut the most important scene at the end. Zhang Guiyang was executed by Lingqi. The vine here is no longer a physical pain. It's a pain in the soul. Takeshi Kaneshiro's acting is really shocking. If this clip had been released, Takeshi Kaneshiro can also get a Best Actor. The Hero of the Same Name is directed by Chen Kexin. Jet Li Dehua, action movie starring Takeshi Kaneshiro. The story outline of the film is adapted from the Temple Tower in the late Qing dynasty, one of the Sima cases. Next, let's talk about this horse case. You could say, this is the peak showdown between Cixi and Zhangofan. The movie really shows the inner core. The story of the case is simple. August 22, 1870, Ma Xinyi, then governor of Liangjiang, after the lecture tour, on the way back to the summer, he was assassinated by the assassin Zhang Wenqiang, a known death. The assassin was caught on the spot. Just like the plot in the movie, the assassin wasn't caught on the spot. Why is it still called the 4 wonderful cases of the late Qing dynasty? Because he involves too much. After this, the whole country was shocked. Feng Jiang was assassinated in broad daylight. What a scare. The court immediately began the trial. Multiple personnel appointed before and after to investigate. After half a year, finally, the case was solved with the title of Hero Revenge. The most widely circulated folk version at that time was the story of the movie. Zhang Wenqiang and Cao Erhu, Shai Jinbia and Ma Xinyi are pure white brothers. Ma Xinyi later became bigger and bigger. However, Zhang Wenqiang saw through the window one day Ma Xinyi and Cao Erhu's stinginess. Wang Mixiang is doing something serious. Later, Ma Xinji also designed to kill Cao Erhu. Occupy Wang Mixiang. Zhang Wenqiang will avenge his brother when he finds out. He's acting for heaven. However, these are the words that Ma Xinyi said during the interrogation. That's not necessarily the case. Ma Xinyi and Li Hongcheng were Jinshi in the same year. He did it on his own, step by step from Hefei magistrate, Luzhou prefect and other small officials, climbed to the position of governor Liangjiang. And Ma Xinyi was watching, solved many problems for the local people, deeply lamented by the local people. Cixi definitely doesn't believe it. The motive for this murder is too foolish, but the court still ordered. Ying Zhangofan quickly returned to the post of governor of Liangjiang, and dispatched the Minister of Criminal Affairs Shujing Dungeon, for the imperial envoy, bring the Talang Zhuang of the criminal department to Jiangning for review immediately. But after Zhangofan took it, insist on serving as governor of Liangjiang again. The illness is played on the sick body and requests to open queue to recuperate. Dragonfly not approved. Yuling served the director as soon as possible, but Zhangofan was slow to move. It took nearly 3 months to arrive in Jiangning to take over as the imperial envoy. Chung Dungeon is the head of the criminal department. It has always been called unselfish. The case was closed the day after arriving in Jiangning. My intention was to find out. A step towards its unselfish title. After a few days of trial, Zhang Wenqiang did not change his mind. Zhangofan sat on the side and just listened. Chang Dujin is full of doubts. Ask privately what you think. Zhangofan said lightly. It seems that we have to follow the method of walking away to solve this sorrow. After listening to it, he suddenly realized. Understand that this case can't get any older. So the original method of playing is still the same as the original. You are convicted. Ma Xinyi's final cause of death also became a case. In fact, anyone with the right eye can see it, including Ma Xinyi herself. He was in front of the rich. Ma Xinyi recruited the two brothers to his side, told me that I was going to be doomed this time. In case something goes wrong, never pay for it, swallow it, to protect yourself. Ma Xinyi is a civil servant. No great achievements, no special achievements. However, he is a political upstart specially trained by the imperial court. The reason why Sixi wants to cultivate him, the goal is simple, just to check and balance Zheng Guo's Hunan army. Tongzi early years. 8 local governors were born. 16 combat positions of the Hunan army. A governor. The Hunan army accounts for as many as 11, as mentioned earlier. The Hunan army also pointed out that it only listened to Zhang Gofan alone. However, when fighting against the Taiping army, the Qing court had no choice but to join the Hunan army. But after the Taiping army was pacified, the Hunan army became the biggest worrying of the court, especially when it occupies an affiliated place like Liangjiang, have mastered nearly half of the tax coverage of the imperial court. So the court borrowed the name of promotion, transferred Zhang Gofan to the governor of Chile, and used Tianjin to call Anjiang. After Zhang Gofan became infamous, the court decided to take action against the Hunan army. Therefore, Ma Xinyi was sent to serve as the governor of Liangjiang, to rectify the Hunan army. In addition, he also asked him to investigate after the fall of the elves, the whereabouts of gold and silver in the treasury of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, and related matters. This is over. All of this threatens the huge interests of the Hunan army. Shortly after Ma Xinyi took office, there was a palace cold. There's no word on it. Only a dead horse was replaced. Dare to make such a blatant threat. The powerful governor of Liangjiang. It can only be the Hunan army, Ma Xinyi, in order to live up to the trust of the imperial court. Just keep going. Once appointed, to generals, governor, just drop the incense army cut of the two generals in half. Ma likes to do all this. Deeply violated the interests of the township army. And after solidifying his position, Ma Xinyi began to look at Zhang Gofan and Zhang Guoquan, two brothers, began to investigate the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom Shinku case. He was assassinated shortly after. In fact, this doesn't need to be ordered by Zhang Gofan. Some people in the Hunan army did it. Finally, the court finally accepted the statement. Issue a royal decree. Zhang Wenqiang Linchi was at Ixi lost here, but then he used Yang Nai. Wu Yu cabbage case. He severely suppressed Zhang Gofan, and the Hunan army behind it. So the saddle. It's a power struggle between Sixi and Zhang Gofan. Just like in the movie Sixi uses Pang King Yun to go. Like Lord Zhang in person. The movie really takes. The kernel of the horse case is expressed. It's a really good movie. However, the box office was sluggish that year. 202 million box office. Relative to the investment of 300 million. Undoubtedly a loss. Fortunately, the reputation is getting better now. He really shouldn't have been beaten by the nurse.